ladies and gentlemen, another day, another layout update. But you know what? In my opinion, it's kind of worth it. If the layout looks better by the end of it, it was a day well spent. And again, today, ladies and gentlemen, we have quite the update. I'm proud to announce we finally started the detailing process. Yeah, the last time you saw the layout, we had finally started the plaster, we had applied some paint. It started to, you know, look decent, but it wasn't, well, anywhere near where I wanted it to be. And sadly, we're still not at that point, but we've made some pretty big changes, some pretty big steps towards there. But enough of all that, let me stop boring you with this intro. What exactly has changed on the layout? Where are we now? Okay, so you may remember from the last episode, the one thing I really wanted to change was the texture of things. It just felt too much like plaster when you looked at the mountains, the ground, everything just looked the same. Now, the paint did help with this visually, but overall it was still, you know, the same when you felt it, or when you really looked at it. And to change that, well, as you can see, we finally introduced some ballast, and this is the beginning to the ground. Now, this is a very fine ballast, made in a almost light tan by Woodland Scenics, and it was applied over the entire board. Now, this is a process I both love and hate. I love it because when you're done, normally it looks really good. You know, it's a somewhat fun process getting all that ballast where you want it to be. Now, typically I hate it when it comes to gluing, and for this I also used a Woodland Scenics spray glue and sprayed that down first and then sprinkled the ballast over top of it. And then sprayed it again with the Scenic glue. And it still needed like 4 or 5 coats, you know what I'm saying? Or can you see what I'm saying? It just takes so long to do this. But again, as I'm sure you can see, it does end up worth it in the end. And this took, I think, 2 layers to get exactly where I wanted it to be. Now, really, this was only for the ground layer, as you can see here, but I did add it in a couple spots on the mountains, or just anywhere I felt it would work or look right. You know, we want the entire thing to blend well, so it would only make sense if it was in a couple different elevations or random spots. Oh, I also forgot to mention I taped off every single piece of track at this point, and the reason for that was, well, there's so much glue, there's so much ballast and debris just going around near the track. As you'll see at the end of this, we do end up cleaning it anyway, but it's really just to help protect things and make sure the ballast doesn't get where I don't want it to be. So pretty quickly, I had the ground textured up and everything was looking solid, but that took some time to dry, and what would I do in the meantime? Well, why not work on that very clean, very crisp water tower by Bachmann, since that doesn't really fit in here, let's be honest. Okay, step 1, grab the water tower and give it a matte clear coat, just to make sure the things we do to this actually stick to it. And step 2, get out your black wash to help accent the detailing on it. Now, this process took quite a while. I didn't actually end up liking the wash or how it looked on top of the water tower, so eventually I ended up coming in with some black weathering powder. Yeah, if you look at actual references for this water tower, it is never this clean. So really, we're just hoping to bring out a bit of detail, make it look like it fits in a bit more in the mine layout. Yeah, really, we're just trying to bring some life to something that could use it. And ladies and gentlemen, just when you're frustrated enough and starting to get pissed off, completely forget everything you just did and paint it a rustic brown, because that was, you know, more fun in the end anyway. But I like it more. I mean, that's more fitting if you ask me. And at this point, the ground had finally dried. Everything was pretty consistently solid and, well, looked good. But ladies and gentlemen, as you might remember from the beginning of this video, I didn't just want to texture the ground. There's also the mountains and hillsides. Well, what would become of those? And sadly, this is a process I'm still in the midst of finishing up. But as you can see here, To kind of start helping with that texture problem, I introduced some Rust-Oleum texture sprays. In specific, we have these two. We have this one, which is a lighter tan and introduces a sand to the finish of things, and the other, a much more rustic brown, which does the exact same thing, but also applies a brown wash. And these were applied to not only the sides, but the tops of the mountains as well. Now again, sadly this is a process I haven't really finished up. The stone still could use quite a bit more detail, and I'm looking to get one more of these to add a stone accent finish, but at least when you feel it or look at it a bit more closely, there's something to see now. And the rustic brown, while it does look a bit ugly at this point, more or less is kind of a guidance for whenever I introduce static grass or turf. That's exactly where that will go, and is kind of showing me where to put it when that time comes. And once we get that stone accenting finally applied, we can move on with not only adding that, but you know, maybe ballasting the track too, and really jumping in with every bit of detail we can with this thing. For now though, ladies and gentlemen, it may not be a huge update, but it's definitely brought some life to the layout, and this is where we are now. Now, this is something I hope to have done pretty quickly, since there's quite a bit of plantage and, you know, vegetation I've now acquired for this layout that's kind of just sitting there, but all in due time, I guess. It's just waiting for that time and funding to be there. But with all that being said, and since there's still a little bit before that time, I think we're safe to go ahead and pull up this tape. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, that's satisfying as fuck. And there we go. We've got a clear mine area finally. I'm dropping dust. All right, there we go. Finally starting to see the track. We're starting to see the track. Let's go this way. Okay. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I love that sound. Hell yes. The front portion is clear. Damn, that looks good. All right, yeah, I'm proud of this. This is okay. All right, move this water tower. Yeah, almost there. I think it's like a little over halfway now. One little piece left. One tiny piece left. Let's just do that real quick. Pull that up. All right, and with that, look at that. We finally have a free layout once more. Now we have to clean these tracks because I'm sure they're filthy. And then we run some trains. All right, got our LGB track cleaning brick. And this is, you know, more for G scale, but it works fine on 00. Gonna take that like so around our train track and make sure everything is clean and solid for these engines. Boom, just like that. And now let's run some trains. Toby. Hey, Toby. Toby, you forgot something. Hey, dude. Hey. Well. Son of a bitch.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.